What's good, guys? My name is Lucas and you're watching Robot Fight Club. Today's video is an event report for my Antweight Shufflebot Pronghorn V6, which recently competed at the 2021 Michigan Mashup. Let's get into it. Alright, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you haven't already seen it, I last week posted a video for my fairy weight, which I brought to the same event. So make sure you go ahead and check that out, and while you're at it, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos that I may have coming up. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. So first of all, if you're interested in knowing more about this robot, if you haven't really been following the channel, I actually haven't posted very much on this particular robot. I have one video where I briefly explain the design and do a few tests. So make sure you go and check that out if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this robot, because it's a pretty cool robot in my opinion. So make sure to check that out, and I will hopefully finally have a build overview, not a build video, but a build overview. I'll hopefully have one of those ready maybe next week or the week after that. So if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the fights. How I'm going to do this is I will give a little bit of information about the opponent I'm fighting, and then I'll play the video and give my thoughts on the fight after the fight is played. If you're not interested in watching my commentary, check down in the description for timestamps so you can go ahead and just skip to the fights. Anyways, let's kick it off with the first fight of the event. Alright, so my first fight was against Womdrom. I think I'm saying that right. Womdrom is a kind of weirdly built horizontal saw, and the saw is actually really high on the robot and it's kind of offset, so it was a really weird opponent to get ready for. I was worried that that blade would just go right over the back of my plow and hit the legs or hit something. I was worried it would hit high on my legs and destroy them, because it was just a really weird robot to fight. But to get ready for this, I have a plow attachment that normally goes down to protect the legs. Like, it sits flush against the ground basically to protect the legs from the back. I flipped that upside down so it was going up and added more protection at the level that Womdrom would be hitting at. I also added a foam and duct tape piece of armor and put that onto the plate as well, or the plow I should say, because that foam and duct tape will stop the saw blade pretty quickly once it starts biting into that. So I was hoping to slow down the blade and turn around and hit him with the drum. So let's see how that fight went.
3, 2, 1, fight! Are you one of the longer boxes? Yeah, oh, it's Pronghorn. I can feel it.
I can see it.
Is that cardboard? A little bit of sword and shield action. I don't even know what that is. I don't think you can. Oh, painful looking. Squishy undersides. So juicy. Oh! Arena strike. He's still going though. He's fine.
It's a pedestrian.
Oh!
Smelly, door's going down.
Where's that giant walking brute into the pit? Yum yum good? Bad day! Oh, juicy! Oh. Not not good. I think you might be dead.
Are you sure?
You want to tap out?
Okay, so that was a pretty good fight to open up the tournament for me. It was pretty much exactly what I wanted to do, and everything went exactly according to plan. I was able to deflect all the blows from his saw. He did nick one of my legs, but it didn't really cause any major damage at all. So I was able to stop that saw and hit him. I broke one of the side frame pieces, and then I launched him into the ceiling, which was really cool to see. And then I was able to take that weapon off and get the knockout. So that was a super fun fight, and it was just really awesome. A really awesome way to start out the tournament, so that was pretty great. Anyways, let's move on to the next fight. Okay, so my next fight was against a little bit higher caliber of opponent, and that was Theseus. So Theseus is a very, very well made horizontal spinner. It has an asymmetrical bar, carbon fiber frame, and just will not stop for anything. The previous fight it had, its first round fight, it fought a pretty good vertical spinner and just destroyed it. Didn't show a single vulnerability the entire fight. So I was pretty worried. I was expecting to get pretty torn up. I put on my metal plow and my lighter drum to make weight for the metal plow, and I was just gonna, hope for the best, hope for a miracle or something. So let's see how that fight went.
Blue team, Pronghorn, you ready?
Yep.
All right, doors are locked. Like to see that. 3, 2, 1, fight! Oh no! That's not good! He does get an unstick.
Eligible for an unstick in this circumstance.
Take the shot, please. You get, okay, you're going to take your one unstick?
Didn't I cause that though? So
Not again.
I know.
Does that cause that?
I has these worst walls.
We haven't done unstick so far.
You're right, we haven't.
Well, again, that fight went about as good as it could have gone. What happened is I deflected a few blows from his spinner with the plow, and then he got to the side, and he went in and clipped the edge of the plow, and that launched us both. And that hit actually cracked one of my frame pieces. It was a 3D printed piece, and it cracked it and caused the back corner of the frame to come apart. It was still holding together fine, but if I kept getting hit, that would have definitely caused some problems. But anyways, he hit that, I went flying, broke the frame a little bit, and he went into the wall, and his blade stuck pretty far into the wall, and he was not able to get out. This is where there was a little bit of controversy because there hadn't been, according to the Spark rule set, there is supposed to be a rule. There's different rules for unsticks that you can implement at a different your event that you're running, and that had not been made clear by the event organizer, and that's what caused some problems because there had already been robots. We'd already won the whole fairy tournament without unsticks, so it wasn't clear what exactly was supposed to happen. It was decided that he would not get an unstick, so that wasn't made clear, which was too bad because it is good to know what's happening when you're going into the fight, but that wasn't made clear. But he ended up being counted out, and I won the fight. It was a quick fight, went well for me. Not exactly like a strong showing though. It was luck. That was just a lucky fight for me. There's really no other way that I think I could have won that fight, to be honest, but I did end up winning the fight, and that put me into my next round against the Saint. Let's get into that fight. Okay, so the Saint is a invincible, like breaker box style lifter. It's made out of just solid aluminum with a steel plow. It had just knocked out 2 really powerful spinners by them just breaking themselves on it. So it's a very powerful robot, and I was actually fairly confident that I could win the fight because my weapon is very reliable. I wasn't worried about it breaking itself, so I thought if I just kind of held back with the weapon a little bit and just tried to get some hits, I could possibly win the fight. So let's see how that went.
3, 2, 1, fight! Oh! Why did I give that to you? Pushing him into the wall. He's holding him. So 1. Oh, he's lifting it. That 30. Kind of counts as a hold, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you back off for a second? Okay. I am just basically attacking him. Oh! Hold on, let me write it there.
Alright, door's going down.
Excellent. Get over there.
Doors down, Lucas.
I want to get you into that. Oh, come on. Let's try to do that. That worked last time.
Get it! Push!
Terrifying, gigantic thing. Oh. No, I don't want to go now.
30 seconds.
Wouldn't that be poetic justice if they ever win in the hole?
That isn't how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, I competed in a robot event and got pushed into the pit by a walker.
15. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
Wow, I don't know. So, who thinks that Pronghorn took the win on that one?
And is that Pronghorn?
Okay, we got
That Pronghorn
quite a
over
few
there?
people. Who thinks that Saint took the win on that one?
I'm gonna
Looks
vote
like
for
Saint.
Lots of people. Okay, I think we're gonna go for Saint on this one.
Okay, so that was a pretty good fight all around. I got pinned a few times, but I also got a few hits, and it ended up going to the full 2 minutes. And there actually wasn't judges at this event, so what happened was there was a hand raising. You can hear at the end of the video, you know, raise your hand if Pronghorn won, raise your hand if you think Saint won. And I ended up losing that. I think it was a close fight. I don't know what you guys think. I'm obviously biased, but I think it was at least close, and I think it could have gone my way. I would have liked if there was some judges there, but you know, it is what it is. And it was a really good fight, and that was my favorite fight of the entire event. So that was just really fun. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of that fight and the judge's decision. I think it could have gone either way. Maybe you think that, you know, that was the Saint, or maybe you think I should have won. I don't know. But you guys be the judges on that one. But I ended up losing that fight, and that put me into the losers bracket against Cherig, Jarviszion, I think is how you say it, which is a pretty powerful asymmetrical vertical spinner, 4-wheel drive. So I was, you know, pretty worried going into this. I hadn't fought a vertical yet, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go. He had been having some reliability issues, so I was hoping maybe those would strike again, but let's see how that fight went.
2, 1, fight!
There's a robot everywhere.
Alright. Jarviszion! Good fight.
Okay, so that was, I went out with a bang on that one for sure. Just got absolutely destroyed. 4 of my 6 legs were broken. 4 of the 6 linkages were destroyed. My drum was destroyed beyond use. Fortunately, absolutely no electrical damage. No damage to the electronics rather at all, so that's pretty good. I didn't have to get any spare electronics, so no electrical damage, but the rest of the robot was pretty messed up. I ended up tapping out, and that's my last fight of the tournament, and I'm out. I'm glad I had that fight where I just got destroyed because it showed weak points in the design. Namely that I have absolutely no answer for a vertical spinner. As of now, I really don't know if I'll be able to change that with just how the design is. I'm going to maybe look at adding some more wedgelets on the back, on the angled pieces, so it's kind of more of an array, so it'll be harder for them to get up. But I really don't know if this design is just going to be able to take on vertical spinners effectively. I guess it's really too soon to tell, but we will have to see at future events what ends up happening. Okay, so that's the event recap, and I had an awesome time fighting Pronghorn, and just the event in general was really cool, so thanks to everyone who competed and helped to organize the event because it was super awesome. Anyways, that does it for today's video. Make sure you subscribe and check out the channel for more robotic combat videos. Anyways, I will see you guys next time on Robot Fight Club.